Thank you,
Yeah,
Jesse. Appreciate it.
no, thanks, man. Let's and again for everybody, as you say, for all the people working hard, we massively appreciate it. It's a strange one. I mean, we are quite obvious that we've paid out this enormous amount of US dollars, like $30 million in 2 months. No one has come close to this. It's always difficult for me. I've resisted saying almost anything about all these projects that are launching, targeting EverGrow holders, because they're offering either BUSD or they're offering EverGrow Coin. Now, um, how do I approach this? First and foremost, we have zero idea of the legitimacy of these projects. I still scratch my head as to why a project isn't fully doxed from day one. If you're running a business and you're not prepared to tell the world that you're running it, don't bother starting that business. I'm sorry, but I mean, for me, that's the number one thing that would put me off anything would be to not dox the entire team at the very beginning, at the launch of the project. There is no reason to not do it. There is no justification. If you're justifying it for yourself, there are still projects now that have been out for like 4 or 5 weeks where you don't know who's running them, and these are the projects that are targeting EverGrow Coin holders. You have a team of people here. We are there's dozens of us now, working, talking to you every day, doing these AMAs, releasing stuff as much information as we can, um, and we know that some investors are being drawn into the project because they're trying to get that 100x. You know, it's I tweeted the other day. The statistics are that 80% of new coin launches are scams. That means they're scams. That means there was nothing planned behind the project, just a load of hype, and then within maybe 2 to 4 weeks, the project is dead, and you never hear from the devs again. And guess what? Those are the ones where the devs are anonymous. And if you KYC a project, that just means that a third party company has confirmed the identity of the project. That doesn't mean that third party company has any legal right to release the identity. So this whole KYC thing is smoke and mirrors if the founders of that project aren't prepared to go out in the community. You go to one of these KYC companies and you go, I invested in this Ponzi scheme and it disappeared after 6 weeks. But you said you KYC'd them. Can you tell me who the dev was? They'll say no. We KYC'd them confidentially, but we didn't release their names or their passport copies or anything like that. Evergrow did it differently. We released our names, our LinkedIn, etc. So all of these projects trying to tie themselves off the back of us just shows, guys, they are just trying to get to you. They're just trying to exploit you, to draw you away from what we believe is the best launch of this year and will be the number one project in 2022. And the problem is you guys all want this 100x because you've got this, you want it in 2 weeks. You're not prepared to wait. If we hit our ambition next year, that will be 100x even from where we are again today. But if you've lost all your money investing in every like ICO that's come up between now and then, you're not going to have any Evergrow left to benefit from. So it's you can tell from this. I have not talked about this. I've kept quite quiet about it, but it's a huge frustration. I'm not seeing anything from these projects that suggests any kind of business plan, fundamental value, a real docs team with experience, with CVs, who have been there, done that, created successful businesses, etc. You have that throughout the EverGrow Coin team, and we're all people that you know about. You know our first names, you know our last names, you know our CVs, where we worked, the companies that we've run, etc. So just try and try and not be crypto investors for a little while. Try and be investors. Try and understand how fundamental value is built, and don't buy into anything. I mean, there's another one that just launched, and when I do look at these projects, not because I'm an investor, because I look at them from a kind of scam alert point of view. By the time I did the numbers, their marketing was filtering off about 18% of the total turnover. Now our marketing wallet is getting 1%, but they did it in such a subtle way. And I know a lot of EverGrow Coin holders were looking at that particular project. I'm not going to mention any. I'm not going to say they're all scams. I'm not going to say which is good or which is bad, because to be honest, we have no idea. What we do know is that EverGrow Coin is in that 5% of coins that is still going to be here in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. Okay, you're in the 5% already. Be very, very careful with your investment decisions, particularly with these ICOs, because you see the same pattern every time. Okay, probably said too much. Now let's move to the next one.
And I also think, Sam, with all the marketing and that's all the press releases, the rewards are in there all the time. That's all I see is mentioned the rewards. So except for on the CX exchanges, Jacob can also attest to that. Okay, I'll be a little biased here. My partner in crime over in Discord, she is great. Crypto Rabbit, unmute yourself.
Hey guys, I had a really quick question about Crater. It's actually two-part. One, I know like on YouTube, a lot of the creators do not have any rights to their videos on there. Is that going to be different on Crater? And also, do you plan on having ad revenue on Crater?
Yeah, like
Ravine, you operating?
yeah, like currently, if we talk about ads, we are like currently working on the user experience. Like it's first for us. After that, like once we are done with that, and now the creator, like we are adding various tools for the creators so that like it will make easier for them to reach out. Like if they have like 3, 4 packages and they have like 3, 4 subscribers in all those packages, so they can just like use those tools or message in bulk to their subscriber. But for ads, like we'll be working on it once like the platform is live in beta, because ad is for the revenue and we are like not dependent on ads for our revenue. Instead, like whatever the volume will be generated by creator, we are like dependent on that. So apart from that, for I think content, right, like we'll be definitely be looking into it. Like if although like we would prefer that creators own their content, but definitely like if YouTube is doing it for some particular reason, and if we can't avoid that, then we would have to also do the same. But else, if there's an alternative which would allow creators to own their content, then definitely we'll go with it.
Yeah, so effectively, we would certainly not stop them as long as there's no logistical issue. It would be an absolute obvious that yes, they do own their own content. So guys, do follow Crypto Rabbit. She does brilliant AMAs with Paul. Very, very knowledgeable. They are running the Discord, which is brilliant as well. So we're hugely grateful for that.
So Sam, basically you're saying you have more info coming out on that. So with copyrights and stuff on Creator, they're going to own their own content. So what about if someone takes another video from someone else? Will that be flagged? If they take another
Yeah,
video
like
from someone else, like
we have added like currently all the tools to like report a post, report a creator. But apart from that, like that would be go for manual verification, and like our team would be there to judge it. But definitely like we'll be following all the norms to maintain the content copyright and ownership of a creator.
okay. I have one question. This is from Night of Evergrow. He couldn't ask a question. He couldn't get it working. He created some content for us. So he says he wanted to bring up creator purchase menu possibly to be implemented. The option to allow creator to post their products for purchase on their live feeds, which would be good for a variety of SD minded people, STSY minded people. I think the option would bring a lot of people. Trading cards alone have grouped with 50,000 plus people, not to mention all the women who sell candles, jewelries, clothing, and makeup. Would that be allowed on Creator?
Yeah, definitely. Like in the future, we'll be definitely giving the option to like sell merch or create a store, because like if someone has followers, then definitely like they will look for other methods like how they can monetize those followers. So it would also like create a lot of revenue if people pay for some product in BUSD or EGC, although like EGC has taxes. So I think like people would avoid for paying for a product, but definitely like as we would be charging commission, like, and all those commission would be nulled if someone like decides to take their withdrawals in EGC. So we can like definitely we will be upgrading the platform once like the basic platform is launched and beta, where we have like contents like people can share their content with their followers. So after that we'll be upgrading to add additional features in creator, including stores or selling NFTs and also.
And just to remind everyone, because we know there's always new people joining us every week, one of the huge fundamental differences between EverGrow and other projects is that obviously we're talking about all these utilities, the wallet, the potential for revenue for the wallet, the obvious revenue from Creator, all of that profit from these utilities is going to be used for buyback and burn. We keep saying this every AMA, but it's significant that people are going to soon start to realize what that means for them. It means we buy EverGrow. If we make $1 million profit, we will buy $1 million worth of EverGrow coin. That will create a big upwards movement, loads of rewards, and then we throw all those EverGrow coin into the burn wallet. They're gone forever. That means your coins are worth even more because there's less supply. So again, when it comes to these advanced, as you'll all know, whenever a platform is launched live into the world, you don't roll out all the features at once. So all these features, we've discussed it. Praveen is running the feature side of Creator. All these features are going to be rolled out. You obviously get the basics working perfectly first, and then you roll out. As he said, if you want to buy stuff on our marketplace on Creator, it's likely, people can use BNB, but we will take a commission. If they use EverGrow, we won't take a commission, but obviously that's taxed. And an element of that is for rewards and buyback and burn and all these things. So either way, whether people choose to use fiat or BNB or crypto of any kind, the EverGrow coin holders benefit from these utilities and these platforms. That's what we just keep having to say, because nobody else in the world of crypto has ever done it like this.
Okay, I got a question from Telegram. Getting so many of them. Okay, will each of these utilities have their own separate teams running each utility, or just the devs going to be running each of them? Like, will each, like the games have their individual one, creator have their individual teams, outside contracted? How will that work with each utility?
Yeah, I mean, this is a frequently asked question, and one we answer with yes, absolutely. We've already acknowledged that the in-house team have been too stretched. We haven't really talked much about the games, but with the games, we're going to be doing a combination of partnering and also contracting games developers. But games are, they're not too far off, to be fair, but we're just holding back while we get these first few utilities launched before we start revealing more about the games.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I know the design. I knew you had design teams, but I didn't hear about each individual team running creator or running the NFT platform. So if there were support teams or whatever. So
yeah, there's going to be a separate management and staff for each of those projects because there has to be. They're going to be too big for us to even contemplate running them in house.
Perfect. Okay, Scripted, another one of our YouTube guys, Scripted Legend. Unmute yourself.
What's up, guys? It's nice to talk to all of y'all, and especially through this AMA. The biggest question that I get on my YouTube channel is about the staking pool. Is the staking pool going to be on the wallet? Is it going to be available on the wallet to stake EverGrow Coin and other cryptos on there? And B, what API can we expect? I know some cryptos, they have a low API because it's more so for like voting rights, but then others have a higher APY to bring in a lot of new investors into the EverGrow Coin community.
Yeah, so definitely, like, we have been working on the staking pools, and this is like one of the issues like we have been also facing. Like, although we can distribute a lot of tokens and keep the API very high, but as you know, like you might have seen with other projects as well, like after 1-2 months, the graph falls almost 100%. Like I was also seeing like few projects they were trading around $5. Now they're trading around like $0.1. So that's because once the pool like depreciates or reward depreciates, everyone like sells at once. So like we were working on finding a workaround that like maybe we should distribute the rewards which would be generated from the trading volume, like allocate 1 or 2% taxes to those pools so that it won't create inflation. Or so, because like we would be needing staking for many other features, including for the NFTs as well once the play to earn games are launched. So we have been like looking into it, like what would be the best economics for us, as we have like around at this rate, like even we have around 30 million worth of tokens which were allocated for teams which we can use for pools and everything. But definitely, like if we distribute all at once or like keep the reward very high, then it might like raise the price once after 1-2 months. So we have been like very careful about it and like working on it. Definitely will give some updates.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
Preven, make sure you keep your mic right clear. You were going in and out there. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, as you can see, we we do analyze things a lot. You know, there are too many naive projects, and again, I think this is mainly under pressure from community, etc. For this when Lambo culture, who will dive into something like staking pools, not plan it properly, and then it will fail. We do not want to be that team. So this is as you can see with Praveen saying there is a lot of thought and analysis that's going into it, and a lot of work's going on behind the scenes on all of these elements. So you can
Yeah,
sort
like
of hear.
creating the pool is not the hard part. Like we just need to create a dashboard and like make the contract deployed, and then the pool will be live. But what will happen with like after that, like we distribute EGC to everyone, like give 200, 300, 400% APY. Then after 1, 2 months, like it might, everyone will be like, it will cause a huge inflation and then price will drop drastically. So that's why.
Are you there, guys?
Okay, so we lost Praveen again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
these are challenges that effectively we're going to overcome before launch, rather than sort of scraping around trying to clear up an issue after launch. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, I'm gonna take 4 more questions. We're approaching an hour, and then we'll talk to Sam, see if he wants to go more. Mary, unmute yourself.
Hi, I actually have 3 questions. I'm going to make it quick. So you talked about Simplex and other exchanges. The problem is Simplex and other exchanges that EGC currently listed on, they're not available in majority of United States. So what is your plan to make it available for people that live in United States? My second question is, I personally have brought at least 25 other people to buy EGC, and every time it dips, I get an earful of what is happening. We all long-term investors. We're not traders, so we're in it for a long term. However, this is matter of simple math. Is matter of number of supply available in market compared to the market cap. So, what is your plan for burning and buyback? Because if we want to see a significant price move, we need to burn more than what it is right now. And my third question is...
Okay, hold on. One at a time, please. One at a time.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Please. Sam? Sam, are you there?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm here again. So Simplex, Simplex is available throughout most of the US, but I appreciate it, like New York, I think is an issue, and maybe 1 or 2 other states. Obviously, you know that we're going to be effectively using the 3 biggest payment providers in the world. If you happen to live in a state that isn't covered by one, you should be covered by the other. Again, this is probably where we get multiple questions. What was the second part of the question?
Go ahead, one more.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mary.
About reduce to increase the market cap.
We don't use buyback and burn to, you know, as the tool for increasing the market cap. We use it to support the market cap increase and to reduce supply over time. We've burnt on average 1% of the project every month since launch. That's actually a huge number if you think about that. The fact that we don't want our project just to disappear after 3 months. So, you know, if we carry on at this rate, there'd be no tokens left. So, you know, in a couple of years. So, again, we've talked about this right early on, right in the very first AMA. There is a curve that flattens out as burn. Even if you just burn a consistent sort of percentage, it flattens out eventually. So, look, buyback and burn is not. I don't really know how to describe it. It's a tool that supports the project and gradually reduces supply over time. Look, what's happened as the price has dropped, we had huge FUD attack. We had people posting just pure nonsense. We had idiots on YouTube saying that we were running off with their money, despite doing everything possible for trust and transparency. We've had rival projects pay for false information. If people are selling this project because they don't understand it or because they've watched some numpty on YouTube and they believe him, even though there's 400 comments underneath discrediting him, then that's you know, obviously their issue that they don't understand how to research a crypto. We've had huge sell-offs in the market. I mean, unfortunately, if you look at just about any altcoin now, they've seen the same. SafeMoon have suffered severe losses as well. You know, they're always a good example, as have multiple other projects. Some of the projects that have launched off the back of EverGrow have almost just completely disappeared in a matter of weeks. Look, we still actually have a significant market cap at around about, I don't know if it's over or under, about $300 million, but that's certainly not where we expect to be in the future. But look, anyone who understands this project understands where we are in the roadmap. We haven't launched the utility yet. Like, let me just remind you, we are two months in. We've got our swap. We've launched working examples of the utilities. But listen, no one can launch a global project in 2 months. No one. And you've got to remember that we only can generate revenue through the marketing wallet, so that you can't launch a content creation platform on the first day of a project because you haven't got any money to do that. So you have to use the money that comes in through the volume. So in short, yes, it's pretty bad for people who bought at the top of this project. Now we're seeing what is, we hope, the lows, and that'll be it. The way that we will recover the price is through fundamental value, not through just burning tokens. We can't just burn tokens, guys. This is a fully launched project. We don't just have a supply of tokens. For us to burn tokens, you guys would have to give them to us for nothing so we could burn them, or we do it through the trading, through the buyback and burn mechanism.
Yeah, just a quick bit before on the buyback, Sam. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
On the buyback and burn feature, our utilities will also contribute to this. So once we launch the utilities, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so exactly. So this is the thing I'm saying is that buyback has already burnt 2% in 2 months. That is a huge amount, guys. But we haven't launched the utilities which are designed to burn so much more. So again, I think this is about education. If we're still being asked 2 months later how we're going to burn tokens, and it feels to me like nobody's listened to an AMA or watched any videos, the utilities will be constantly buying back and burning on a huge level compared to now. Like I said, if one of our utilities generated, let's say, even $1 million in a month, which we think is quite modest, considering the sort of turnover we've seen from similar projects, that $1 million would be used to buy EverGrow and burn it. Okay, that in itself would just wipe off 1/3% of our total supply in a day, and cause a huge green candle, and create $80,000 of rewards for everybody. So this is how it's going to work, but we haven't launched those utilities yet. They are coming in 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, so hopefully that answers it. Let's jump. Let's just do 2 or 3 max more questions, and then we'll knock on the head. Let's get Crypto Newbie. I think he wants to speak. Does he?
Yeah, I got that. I want to say something real quick about. She said something. When you guys talk to friends or family about EverGrow, and you make sure they're educated. Make sure they educate themselves in what they're investing in. So don't just give it to them and just say buy more, buy more, buy more. Make sure they are educated and make sure they do their own research. So if the price goes down, which it shouldn't go down anymore, but you never know, it's crypto. But this is what happens. They don't know their own research. It goes down. They come back to you asking why. And so let them do their own research so they know the entire crypto space and EverGrow Coin. I ran into that. Okay, Crypto Newbie.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, thanks. So great AMA, great content today. A lot of good updates. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming out in the next days. So that's exciting to look forward to. Could you go over a little bit of the play to earn, how the tokenomics is going to work? I mean, the website gives some information about obviously playing to earn and the NFTs and that kind of stuff. Is there going to be a marketplace in there? And then how do you see it kind of fitting into the overall EverGrow platform ecosystem?
So NFT marketplace is like different, like it's open for everyone, like anyone, any creator can sell their NFT, but play to earn game would be like officially backed up by EverGrow, and like we'll be funding it for the rewards for everything, like from our treasury. So like NFT marketplace, just like the existing options like OpenSea or Binance NFT marketplace. So it would be like that, like creators can drop their NFTs or drop boxes or mystery boxes, like current, which is like it's trending right now. So play to earn game will also have its marketplace, but that will be only for the assets which would be like the people have earned in the game or people have purchased in the game. So you can like see the current options like which are existing in the market, like other games. So that would be similar to the marketplace for the games and our NFT marketplace, which is like we'll be looking on the domain name logo, which it would be dedicated for like every creator who creates NFTs. So it would be
Sam, you got to
I
get
mean,
Praveen a good mic.
yeah, Praveen, I don't know why, but you always come in and out, in and out. It's like we can hear you 1 minute and then not the next. But look, we there's a lot more coming out about the games. It's probably, I think we're probably going to push through the next couple of weeks to get the creator soft launch effectively, and then we're going to be providing more information on the games and also the website. When the website goes live, the new website in a couple of days, there'll be a little bit more about the games on there as well. We did say that we were going to be using third-party games companies and also partners with the games. So we'll hold off on saying too much about the games for now. Right, we'll do the two more guys who are lined up to speak. Let's get their questions and then we'll call it a day.
Yep, Daniel.
Hey everyone. So EverGrow is my #1 holding. Very excited about the future. So thank you, Sam and team, for doing an awesome job as always. Quick comment and then very quick question. Comment is regarding the wallet. I love to hear about all the features, but hands down, based on what I'm seeing, nothing is more important than security. So hopefully, as you market this, you'll really push the industry-leading security, anti-scamming protocols, and whatever else you have built into it. And then lastly, my question is, has any thought been given to building out some sort of referral component to EverGrow? I think that's a huge opportunity. I think, we need to manage expectations as creator launches. And if we could pull in more subscribers to, the creators' channels and also more creators themselves and incentivize people for doing that, I think that we'd be feeding the machine and building a very strong feeding mechanism into EverGrow.
Yeah, so obviously security is always going to be paramount with the wallet. So there's not much detail we can go into while it's in development, but we've made it very clear on the brief, as would any project launching a wallet, that security has to be the #1 focus, and it effectively has to be the highest level of security available technologically. In terms of referral ideas, etc. Yeah, there's going to be lots of promotions, particularly at launch, that will integrate that kind of thing. So yeah, it's good comments, and that's all being built into the launch plan.
Okay, last speaker of the day, Kevin.
Hey, EverGrow team. Thanks for taking my call. So I would like to just make a quick suggestion and a quick question. Suggestion-wise, I went to a crypto event here in Miami, and it was awesome. I saw a lot of people advertising their companies, big trucks passing by. When I got back to my car, there was like 100 flyers, and I was like, man, I wish I was better equipped. Like, I would have reached out, got some shirts, maybe got some cards, maybe spoke to you guys to see, hey, maybe I can advertise EverGrow on all cars, because those are the people that are hungry. Those are the people that want to learn, and they're actively looking for the one. And I believe EverGrow is the one, just like everybody else in this community does. So that's just my little suggestion. Maybe if people that are hungry like me, or maybe motivated throughout the country, or even if they're Atlanta, places that are really big places where events are going on, maybe we could find other Kevins throughout the state, jump into those events, and kind of leave like with an impact, you know what I mean, and offer this amazing coin that maybe they're just ignorant about. That's just a small suggestion.
Hey Kevin, yeah,
yes,
I mean, thank you for that, because that's could not be a better place to end the AMA on, because it harks back to what I was saying at the beginning. So look, we would love as a team to be attending all these events, but frankly, right now we just cannot. We have to get these utilities out. We know what you guys want. You guys want to see action. And if I could get on a plane and go to Vegas and spend 2 or 3 days, supping beers at a blockchain conference, I would do that. But for now, it's not going to happen. But obviously, once the project gets to a more mature stage and settles down, clearly we're going to want to do that. But you guys in the community, this is what we're saying. You can 100% support your own investment. And if that means that you've got your bag of EverGrow and you go, right, you know what, I'm going to take some of my BUSD and I'm going to make some merch. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to one of these events. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to even put a stand up. If we'll support you. If you say, look, Sam, I know you can't come to Vegas, but there's an event and I'd love to go there and I'd love to sort of educate people on EverGrow. What can you do? Can you promote us? Can you help us? We will do that. Right now, we're just so in the depths of getting these utilities launched that none of the team can even imagine, doing anything. We're working 7 days a week. We will get these utilities launched. But once things settle down, once you guys can see what you want to see, then we'll make more time for that. So look, the best way for us to close this AMA, obviously, huge thanks
Sam?
to... Yes, Paul.
One more thing before you close it out. I can shut up. I just got a DM. I'm gonna send it to you. Can you? It's called a press packet, where you could put on the website, and it's a digital that has you can put vector files and the logo files
Sure.
on there. Actually,
Let's deal with that separately. Okay. So I've lost my train of thought. Listen, so we'll go back to that. So as I said earlier on, we need the community now to step up. Okay, I've never asked this before, so it's my responsibility. But the most successful projects, the community are hugely important, and I actually believe that EverGrow is the best project in the entire space. I believe we will hit top 20. I believe these things because I know what we've got to offer and I know what the team are doing. So if you guys can help get behind it, if you have ideas, reach out to us, reach out to people like Paul, reach out to people on Telegram, say, look, there's this conference going on, or I want to do this, I want to put this billboard up. If you group together with some investors and put a billboard up in Times Square or something, I don't know, the community won't be able to thank you enough, okay? Because we've got to get these utilities launched. We've got big marketing coming in January. We're focused. But what you guys can do can bring 100% more to this. So let's make our little challenge for Christmas that each and every one of you gifts EverGrow this Christmas to one or two people. Just sit down with one or two people, spend half an hour with them, download Trust Wallet or MetaMask, whatever you need to do, onto their phone. Talk them through it. Buy them $100, $200 worth of EverGrow. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. Point them in the direction of some great YouTubers so they can learn about the project. And when the new website's up in 48 hours, they can drop by and see that. So that's my little sort of Christmas challenge to you guys, is let's actually start working together now as a community. Let's get really positive for next year, because next year is so huge. Everything that you guys have been impatient about is coming very, very soon. But let's build up. If off the back of this, there's 20,000 more holders, all with $100 in their wallet, but all watching EverGrow on our Twitter, when we drop Crater, that's 20,000 more people who are going to buy $1,000 worth or even more when they start to understand more about the project. So we want you guys to now take some responsibility. I'm directly asking everybody for the first time. We're doing everything we can do from our side to get the utilities ready and amazing, and to get this beautiful wallet built over the next few months, and to announce some more news in the next 48 hours. But now it's time for you guys to do something. If you do something, tell us and we will support it. If you want to put a billboard up in your local town, it's relatively easy to do. We're going to get those files and designs online ASAP. So if you need them, reach out to us and force us to rush. Paul's going to keep putting the pressure on us to get that ready. So we're going to commit to getting that online within 48 hours so you guys can have all the resources you need. Make your jumpers and your caps and everything. It's completely open source. You can use our logo on anything. But please, for Christmas, everyone listening, I don't care if it's $10, because if you put someone into our project, then they're going to start looking into it. They're going to start researching it, and then they're going to start understanding it. So listen, all it leaves me to do is obviously wish everybody a really safe and happy Christmas or festive season, whatever you celebrate with your family and your friends. We'll obviously still be here. We're going to be in constant contact with you over the whole period. Obviously, we're on Twitter and Discord and Telegram and everywhere else. We'll do a little mini AMA or a little chat after Christmas, talk about some other things that have dropped out in the meantime. And we look forward to doing an AMA, all being well, on Crater sometime in January. So I think that's all for now. And I'm going to end the AMA. Thanks, guys.
All right, a lot of good information. I apologize for what's going on with the live stream. I pay for 1 gig service, and I just checked the speed, and I'm about a quarter of what I should have right now, and I can't really troubleshoot it in the middle of a live stream. I tried to do a quick reset to see if that would fix it when it went down, but I'm not sure what's going on with the internet in my area, but hopefully I'll get it fixed before the SafeMoon one that's kicking off here in a little bit. I'm going to try to troubleshoot it, and if it seems like it's not going to work, then I might not do the live stream for SafeMoon, but there's plenty of options out there for attending to that one. What I was trying to get at with the question about the play to earn is just to have a better understanding of how that one fits into the ecosystem, because it's not entirely clear what that's going to look like, and I don't think that the team necessarily knows yet either. It kind of sounded like and I get it, they're really worried about Creator and NFT marketplace and some of the closer to the boat kind of situations that they're working through. So I don't know that they figured out exactly what that's going to look like. I mean, obviously, play to earn, it means you're going to play and you're going to earn NFTs or some EverGrow coin. But how does it fit into the broader picture of the ecosystem? Is there going to be the ability to buy NFTs in there that are played with during the game? And then is that going to have a 14% EverGrow tax? You know, how does it actually kind of work together? So that's kind of where I was going with the question on, you know, how they envision the play to earn working once they get that thing up and going. So I know there's a lot of gamers out there that are checking to see how that's going to work out. So you would think that 200 was enough to stream, right? But part of it is the upload. So the upload, normally my upload is 35 meg, and it's only 1 right now. So it's the upload problem, I think, is the issue. It's not necessarily the download. And even though sometimes it was saying excellent connection for the upload, it's just it's not working for some reason. So the reality is it's not an excellent connection, even though YouTube is telling me it's an excellent connection. So I don't know what's going on in the area, but a quarter of my bandwidth is not what I'm paying for. So I'll have to get Cox Communications out here, and they have a lot of issues in general. And maybe they're being impacted by the storm surge this past weekend. This is kind of the first live stream I've done in the last couple of days. I can't remember doing one since the storm, so maybe there's an impact from that. But I'm in the East Coast, so I wouldn't have imagined that we were going to have a problem here with it. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but it definitely impacts the ability to do in live streams when you're not getting the bandwidth you're supposed to be getting. So, but I do apologize for cutting out there. It looked like there was some buffering, but the audio seemed like it was not being impacted. It was mainly the video on the stream, which there isn't really a need for video other than my camera. So I turned that off, and that seemed to help a little bit because it's just audio. It's not like it's a huge amount of bandwidth going up other than the screen capture aspect of it, and there's no way to really minimize that. Right, and it's telling me that I don't have an excellent connection, so my guess is that if I had the camera going, it would be buffering and it wouldn't be doing its update. But yeah, it is unfortunate when that happens. That's the first time I've had real buffering issues here, at least when I'm not doing simultaneous live streams. But that's more of a factor of the computer, and I haven't found a way to work through that yet. So simultaneous is going to be a problem until I can get a second computer. So hopefully I can deconflict some of these a little bit. At least EverGrow deconflicts pretty good with SafeMoon, so I don't typically have a problem there. But it's some of the other projects I cover here, they like to overlap a lot of times, and that's going to present a challenge. So I'm going to have to kind of rack and stack communities, I think, is probably how it's going to work, is which ones are more people are looking for updates on. And those will get priority when there's an overlap, until I can get a second computer. And I was pricing those out this weekend, so yeah. So the problem is with dual live streams is you can technically do 2 live streams from the same computer, but you run into a lot of issues with the audio sources. So I can do the 2 video sources because I can just do 2 separate instances of Streamlabs OBS, but the audio becomes a challenge on separating those 2 audio streams. It's technically possible. I've seen a whole bunch of YouTube videos on how you can do it, but I've never actually seen anybody demonstrate doing it. So I don't want to necessarily pay for the hardware just to find that 2 audio streams is going to be a challenge, because that's kind of where I see the problem, is with the 2 audio streams. The video is easy. The video is an easy process, but 2 live streams with 2 audios from 2 different browsers, that becomes a challenge. So I think the better approach is probably going to be the 2 computers And I've got plenty of computers. They just don't have the capacity to do a live stream. And I'll check that out. And maybe that's the workaround. Because the computer's got the potential to do 2 live streams. I custom built my computer. Granted, it's a little bit old now, but I went high end when I built it. So it's definitely got the capacity for it. It's just trying to split the audio sources is really where I run into problems. And the other computers are just, they're not where they need to be. I bought one of them for doing my college classes, so it's great for typing documents. It's not so good for live streams, and those are the ones I use on the road, and I've demonstrated repeatedly that doesn't work well for live streams. And then the other one is my daughter's desktop, which we just bought last year, but it's got some issues. It's just not, I think there's a memory issue with it, but I haven't put a lot of time into trying to diagnose what the problem is. Yeah, so it's the routing portion. And I have seen different video content out there that walks through how to do different audio streams, but I think you need different hardware to make that work. And some of the hardware that they've got, especially for the microphone portion of it, I think it'd be cheaper just to buy a second computer. And down the road, I can turn it into this would be my daughter's computer for college or something, as they do an upgrade down the road. But that's kind of where that situation is. But hopefully there just won't be any more double live streams going at the same time where I have to worry about it. But it's an issue with having the hardware to do the live stream. And if I could shut off the video, potentially that. So here it's easy. I can just unplug the video because I don't have the desktop doesn't have a built-in video, but the all-in-one computer I've got and then also the laptop have integrated video, so even if I turn it off, it's still there. It's still going. Yeah, I think the other computers, and that also works for if I have to go on the road for something. Right now, the computer I've got for going on road trips just doesn't work, so if I have to go on a road trip someplace, I need a little bit beefier computer. And there's some really good options out there from Dell to Lenovo. And really all it needs is a dedicated video card, I think is really what it needs. But I'm pretty sure I saw a couple good options, and I'm hoping they come on sale for Christmas. So that might be the way forward for that. But I'm going to jump off this because I got to get set up for SafeMoon here. That's the next one for today, and I want to try to troubleshoot the poor internet connection before I do that. So I'm going to try restarting everything and resetting the modem and see if I can't troubleshoot it so that I get a little bit more of an upload capacity. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and I will try to do an update. I was trying to keep some notes as I went through so I can do a recap of the AMA, and this will be available in 2 separate files with a little bit of a break in between. But it was the Q&A portion. All of the main content that they put out is definitely going to be good. That was covered in the first part of the video. So I'll do a quick recap though to kind of summarize a lot of the content from this particular AMA. So until next time, stay strong with those diamonds.